So today we have a very special guest with us. I asked Kate Scholtes to come talk to us. Kate has done incredible things. She hasn't been a coach for very long. I think, 14 months now, 15 months maybe. Started last year and just started running. Finished the year as an elite coach. She spoke at NLC. Right now she is ranked number 2 in the network out of 450,000 coaches. She's ranked number 2 and she is killing it. So guys, if you guys need to take this opportunity and find out exactly what she is doing. So Kate, before we get started, why don't you tell us a little bit about yourself, your Beachbody journey, where you're at today?
Cool. Can you guys hear me? My internet's okay, cool. I'm currently in the guest room of my in-laws because we are moving, we're building a house in Arizona. So we're living with Curtis's parents for a couple weeks. So I'm doing all my calls from different areas of the house. I started coaching in December of 2017. So a little over a year and a couple months. And basically my story can get really long-winded, but basically, I was a teacher and I got super burned out really fast. And I started to turn to food for comfort, and I was commuting an hour and a half one way. My first year of teaching, I was teaching in the projects of East LA, and things just were really, really hard. And I started to just develop some really unhealthy habits, such as binge eating and, stress eating. And I was the epitome of an emotional eater, and I still am today. Right before the move, I was grabbing for a tortilla. I'm like, why am I eating a tortilla? I don't need a tortilla, but my emotional eating, it happens. And so, I struggled really hard with that when I was teaching, and in turn gained a ton of weight just with stress and being extremely unhealthy. And I just started to really lose myself while I was teaching. And I had actually signed up with a challenge pack in March of 2017. And signed up to be a discount coach a month later, and was super solid in a challenge group for 3 weeks, and then quit. And I canceled everything. I canceled my Beachbody On Demand. They were like, oh, well, you have it till September. And I'm like, no, cancel it. I don't want it. I was very bitter about the fact that I wasn't seeing results fast enough, but I also wasn't following meal plan. I wasn't I was just dabbling in programs. I wasn't actually committed to a program. And I was really at this point of just survival. I was just trying to get through the day. And I wasn't in a good mindset. So I ended up quitting my challenge group, but I watched my coach every single day for 10 months. And I was the girl that typed in her name to see what she posted today and to go watch her stories. And she never missed a day of showing up ever. And, she was going through a really hard transition that year too. And, she showed up every single day. And because she showed up every day, eventually I realized that I could too. And so in December of 2017, I was just craving something more. I was so sick of just going to a job that I wasn't passionate about. I knew I always wanted to be a teacher, and I wanted to teach and mentor, but I for sure know that it wasn't supposed to be in a classroom setting. I loved my kids, and I coached basketball, and I had really good relationships with my students, but being in the classroom wasn't what I was meant to do. But first of all, I needed a hobby, because I was only a teacher, and only, I was going to my job and coming home. And I needed to do something. I had always been busy. I had always been, someone who just always had a hobby, always had stuff going on, and I do better when I'm busy. And so I was I thought of all these different options. And then I also needed to lose the weight because I had just gotten engaged. And so I was all right, well, I probably have about 30 pounds I need to lose. I had been told by a doctor months before that I needed to lose some weight because of some stress that was being put on my health and my heart. And I didn't listen, but then finally I had enough, and I texted my coach that day, my former coach, and I was like, all right, what's this coaching thing all about? I'm I think I want to do it, but I know that I'm not going to stick to it if I'm not a coach. And so I really started coaching because I needed to hold myself more accountable for my own journey, because I had tried being in a challenge group before and it didn't work for me because I wasn't holding myself super accountable. And so I was like, hey, if I'm going to do this and I'm going to get results, then I'm going to be a coach. I'm going to share it with other people, because that's the ultimate accountability is social media and showing up every single day, because they're going to know if I show up or not. So that's kind of how it started. And then it started to turn into like, oh, I can actually make money with this. And after I kind of started to see, like, I was, I came out of the gates really fast. And I think I know it's because I just didn't overthink it. Like, I was just like, I'd watched Ashley for 10 months, like she does. And my upline is Ashley Phil-Dyson. You guys might know her. She's done a national wake up call, but that's like the biggest like upline we have. But I'd watched her post her workouts on her stories, so I was going to post my workouts on my stories, and I had watched the way she posted, so I was going to post the same way as her. And I knew, she was inviting people to a challenge group or a boot camp, and so I was going to invite people to a challenge group or a boot camp, and I kept it so simple. I hit Success Club 40 in my first month as a coach. I didn't have a crazy following. I had 500 followers, and that's why I tell my coaches all the time, like, you just have to be excited. Like, you just have to be excited and excited to share what it is you're doing. I didn't have a transformation. I didn't have an insane following. I just came out of the gates excited and not overthinking it. Kept everything really simple and learned as I went. And that's what I teach my coaches to do. And I've just been doing that ever since. So it's been super exciting, but I'm totally excited to see what's to come too.
Love it. Thank you. Okay, guys, what questions do you have? Go ahead and take yourselves off mute. You can put them in the chat box. Whatever works. Go ahead.
I'll go. So do you sign the majority of your people up as coaches since you originally signed up that way?
No. I actually don't sign. I only sign discount coaches if I'm pushing for a diamond. So if I'm trying to get my second business center to diamond or my third business center to diamond, I don't sign up coaches unless they want to be a working coach, because there's a couple reasons. Because Success Starter is such a big deal, not just for elite, but for like them getting their free summit ticket. So I was actually an inactive discount coach for 9 months under Ashley. I thought I had canceled my coach account. Turns out it never got canceled. So I was an inactive discount coach under her fiance. And I missed out on Success Starter because I had already been a coach for technically 9 months or whatever. So I don't want people to miss out on that free summit ticket if they are going to be a working coach. And then I also, it's, a big part of Elite this year. So actually I sign everyone up as a challenger unless they say that they want to save money, then I get them as a discount coach. With Ultimate Portion Fix right now, I'm promoting that as my test group. I'm running like my personal test group with 10 people. So they're getting signed up as discount coaches so they can access it early. But other than that, I only always recommend signing up discount coaches if you're pushing for a rank because of Success Starter, but also because of commission. So a lot of my income comes from residual commission of keeping people on Shakeology. And if one person buys Shakeology, it's 90 PV a month. That's not even enough to team cycle one time with volume. So, but if you keep them as a customer and they're buying Shakeology every month, that's $32 in your pocket. So, if they are like cool with, paying the full price, they want to be a customer. A lot of times people don't even want to be a discount coach because you put in the social security number, it freaks them out. So unless they want to save money or they want to get their products cheaper, obviously I will sign them up as a discount coach every single day. But for the most part, they stay as customers just for those couple reasons. Oh, how many invites do you do and where do you do them? So all of my business is on Instagram. Holly Hillier called me out a couple months ago and said I hide behind Instagram because it's 100% true because I'm afraid of Facebook. I'm from a really small town. It's like 13 blocks wide and my stepdad's the mayor by default because no one else ever wants to run. So my warm market is like small town mindset, like scary. They're scary. And so I didn't tap into my, like my Facebook market. I asked like friends and family. That's how I got to Diamond, was friends and family wanted them to do it with me. So obviously people like I was close to, but I built my cold market really big on Instagram because I was just sketched out by doing Facebook. So when I first started coaching, I was sending like 30 invites a day because nobody told me any different. I was just like, 30 sounds like a good number. I'm going to send 30. And it takes me like 20 minutes to do 30. And then I upped it when I started pushing really hard for different goals. I started doing 62. And so I did, I filled up a notebook. I don't have a notebook with me right now, but if you have like a college ruled notebook, there's 31 lines in a notebook. And if you split it in 2 columns, it's 31 and then 32 through 62. And so I just had, when I was teaching, I just had the mindset that like, in order for me to go to bed every night, this page needs to be full. Like I need to talk to a page full of people every single day. And I find them on Instagram, and it's just people watching my stories, people that follow me, and people that like my photos. I don't even consider it cold inviting when I send someone that follows me an invite. Even if I've never talked to them before, I consider it lukewarm inviting, because obviously they're following me. They know who I am, they see what I'm doing. But I don't cold invite where like I go and like someone's not following me and I send them an invite. Unless they had liked a picture or something, and I happen to send invites from people liking my posts. So I had to grow my following a lot in the beginning because I started with 500 and I needed more people because I was talking to more people. So I never ran out of people, but I did do used Captivate. It's just like an app. It's like $9, $9.99 or something. And it just allows you to, like, it's working on my phone right now. You can go and you can find, like, I go to like friends from college and I go to their followers, and I'd pick people I want to follow, and you can add them to your queue, and then it'll follow like one person every 60 seconds or every 90 seconds. So it's not a bot because you're picking the people you want to follow, and it's just following it for you. And then I unfollow people that don't follow me back like a couple times a week. So that's how I've grown. That's how I grew my Instagram in the beginning. I used a service for a little while and it sucked. Like my Instagram disappeared twice, and like it worked for a while, and then Instagram beefed up their security. And so my Instagram disappeared twice, and that sucked. But I got it back each time. So I just stopped doing that, and I went back to my roots with Captivate, and it works. I honestly think it works so much better with being able to target who your people are and being able to find your people. So that's how I found, the people to send 62 invites a day. And now I send like 30. So I'm back at like 30 a day because I have other focuses than filling challenge groups. I'm, mentoring my team. We've definitely grown a ton in the last few months. So I'm doing that. And then a lot more attraction marketing has been working for me. So I don't find that I need to send as many invites as I used to, but I still invite every day. So I just fill up one column on a page instead of 2, but I still like use the notebook method and all that good stuff. Do you require Shakeology in your groups even after the first month? No, they have to get it in order to get into the group. But if they don't want to continue, then they don't have to, because I get it. It's expensive. Like, as a teacher, if I was just a teacher, like there's no way that I would have been able to afford it. I was, living off credit cards for a really long time. So I get it. But I do know that if you create a culture where lots of people in your groups are using products, then the people not using your products will want to use them. So I actually have a pretty good retention of keeping people on the products. Where are you getting your business coaches from, and what is your onboarding process like? So all my coaches, like I'm thinking of all my diamonds, I all met on Instagram. A lot of them were teachers that had teacher Instagrams. They all told me no at least 3 times, which is my 5-star Sydney. She's number 7 in the network right now, which is insane. But she told me no like 3 times. Told me her mom was a coach when really her mom's a discount coach. Like, she's not actually a coach. And she told me she was allergic to Shakeology, which is a lie. And she told me that She actually went on her stories. She was like kind of a popular teacher Instagrammer. She went on her stories and told people like, stop asking me to join your boot camps. Like, I don't want to be a part of Beachbody. And then now she's a 5-star diamond and she like is number 7 in the network. So just goes to show you can't write anybody off. But all my diamonds I met on Instagram, they're all they're lifers. Like they're not going anywhere. I'm best friends with all of them. And I don't think I ever like went searching for business builders. I really just talk about the business all the time and talk about it in a way that's exciting and enticing. And even if it's not about like anymore, it's not about the money because my income, it just isn't relatable. So a lot of people are like, how do you talk about coaching when you're not making a lot of money? And I'm like, that is when you should be talking about the money the most, because that's when it's making the most difference in your life. Like I talked constantly about how I could buy the big bag of dog food instead of the small bag because I could only ever afford the $20 bag because I was just trying to get to Friday. But the day that I could buy the $60 bag, like that's freedom. Or being able to get your nails done every week, or being able to start paying off credit card debt and being able to pay your car insurance, like stuff like that. That's what people relate to. Groceries, putting gas in your car, those kind of things. Whereas now I don't share my income publicly. I share them in sneak peeks, but it's just not relatable. Like for me, I think it's monopoly money. Like I feel like it's monopoly money when I look at it. And I know that like if I were to come across someone that shared their income like mine publicly, I totally think it was fake. So even now I go back to the roots of like being able to go on date night and not have to worry about it. Or like I talk about, we're able to build our dream house, but it wouldn't be possible without this. So talking about it in ways that are relatable. But a lot of my coaches, a lot of my diamonds say like, I just wanted to be your friend. Like I just, I wanted to be a part of the community that you were creating. Sydney was one of my first coaches. And so her and I were always like tagging each other in stories and talking all the time in the beginning. And people were like, I just wanted to hang out with you in Sydney. And so I knew in order to hang out with you in Sydney, I needed to be a coach. And then I needed to get to Diamond so I could be in the Diamond group with you in Sydney. And now, they have teams of their own and it's super cool. So I think a big draw for my coaches has always been the community. And also holding themselves accountable. I feel like I, for a long time, went to this mindset of like, I need to talk about the hustle and grind. I need to talk about like the business as a business, which is true. But my best coaches didn't come in to build a business. My best coaches came in to focus on themselves and to make friends. And so you have to figure out like, what is it that your tribe really craves? Because for me, I didn't come in to build a business right away. I came in to hold myself more accountable. And I think there's a fine line because you don't want people to come in and be like, wait, I have to work. Like I have to actually do something. But you can figure it out where it's like, this is freaking fun. Like this is fun and this is exciting and you can build a business while it being fun and exciting. And my best coaches have come in, not wanting to build a business, but started to because they were just excited. And the onboarding process is just really simple. I just do an email that asks them like their goals and their why. And then when they email me back, I send them the link for the quick start training, which is just 5 videos. I had like a 14-day training or 14 module training on Thinkific. And in January, it was a crap show. Like all of a sudden I recruited the most working coaches in January I ever had, but I had the least activity, like the least people actually getting started right away, but because they were like being paralyzed by this training. And it was the first time that it had ever happened. The training, they could have gotten done in like 2 hours, but they were taking the full 14 days. And I was like, this is no, like we need to get started. So I condensed it to like a 5-video training. And at the end of it, it tells them it has an Emerald and 24-hour call. So they're seeing that at the end of the training and then they're getting on a call with me when they're done. So it's been working really well that way. I know for me, if I was getting started as a new coach, like I want to get started right away. I don't want to go through 14 modules. Give me like the basics and let me go. So that's what I've been doing and it's been working pretty well. What do you do with your people who only get bought? I don't ever sell only bought. I just have the mindset that the challenge pack is their silver platter. They're basically getting products and equipment for 60 or $80 extra with BOD. I know that they're going to get results if they commit to a challenge pack. I used to do BOD and I never had someone ever stick to it because it wasn't a true investment in their health. They didn't have enough skin in the game. So I always say that they have to get a challenge pack in order to be my boot camp, unless I'm like, this girl would be a really good coach. Like if I have like a feeling, there's just like a feeling you get, right? Like Sydney is the perfect example of this. She told me she wanted to do 80 Day Obsession when 80 Day Obsession came out. And that's when I first started as a coach. And she's like, but I'm not going to buy Shakeology and I'm not going to buy Beachbody On Demand. I'm going to use my mom's. And I was like, okay, because I was like, she's going to be an amazing coach. Like I just knew it. Like I just knew, there's just like a feeling you get. It wasn't like a hope thing. It was like, I'm going to get her to fall in love with this and she's going to be a coach. And 4 days in, she signed up with a challenge pack. So I think there's just like this feeling that you can get with certain people. But for most people, I'm like, no, you need to sign up for challenge pack. Like I had another coach who she had the T25 DVDs and I was like, she'd be an amazing coach. You should come into my boot camp and like, you can do your DVDs. We'll just help hold you accountable. She's a coach on my team now. She hit Success Club 10 in her first month. Like, I think there's just a feeling you get with people. But for most people, they have to sign up for the challenge pack because they're going to stick to it. They're way more likely to stick to it. But if you get that feeling about someone, then it's no skin off your back to just plug them into a group.
So I have a question. So you need 105 points to be elite, right? Everyone 105 points. Kate has 104 already. So you're 1 point away from having all your elite points, which is just after 2 months, which I can't even wrap my mind around. So walk through, like, do you walk through elite? Like, do you share with your team? Does your team know that you're going for elite? You're capped out well above in the Success Club category. You're like above and beyond in that. How are you getting your coaches to Success Club? How are you getting them to sell a challenge pack their first month? Like, walk me kind of through elite.
Yeah, so I don't feel like I really put a focus on it with my team, to be honest. They know we're pushing for top 10. That's like kind of always been our push from the beginning. I think when we hit like number 20 something last spring, I think we were like number 27 or something at some point. And I was like, holy crap. Like, you guys, like I think I was a 3-star. No, I was like a 2-star. And then I was a 3-star at number 13. And I was like, you guys, we could like really we could take a run at this. Like, do you want to push for top 10? Like, it's not me. Like, I can't do this by myself. I need you guys to do it with me. So they were all on board. We pushed really hard last year, ended number 18, which was amazing for our first year. And then we just kept talking about it. Like, then we were number 10 last month, number 2 this month. And so our team knows that we're pushing for top 10 and they know how they can help. So I always stress, like, the way that you can help the team the most as our push for top 10 is hit Success Club. Like, just hit Success Club. That's going to be, because ultimately that's what it is. PS coaches getting 1 + 1 point or more in their first month. They hit Success Club in their first month, there that is. Coaches hitting Success Club, obviously that's there. Success Starter, them hitting Success Club. APV category, my PS coaches hitting Success Club. Like, it's all actually based around Success Club. And so it's so simple, go help 3 people. But we really have the mindset of go help as many people as you can. I talked about this on my team call last night. I've never had the mindset like I'm only going to hit Success Club, or like I just need to help 3 people, or I just need to help 5 people. And Ashley Molstead talked about it this morning on our mastermind call. It was like just a mindset shift. Like, it's a mindset shift of like, I need to help 3 people, or I need to help 5 people, to I'm going to help as many people as I can. And I think that's why my team I generally have a lot of people, not just PS coaches, but in my downline hitting SC10 or higher, SC20 and higher. Because we just have the mindset, we're just going to help as many people as we can. And we know we're going to get to Success Club if we have that mindset. And that's what's going to drive our businesses forward. And that's what's going to get our team elite and top 10. And then as far as like holding them accountable for hitting Success Club, like, I don't handhold at all. Like, I am very, if you guys know the Enneagram, I'm very type 1 personality. I'm a red personality. Like, you're either going to do the stuff or you're not. You're given all the tools in the world to be successful. It's up to you to take a hold of it. And so I know my coaches that are hitting Success Club, they're hitting Success Club because they want to. And the coaches that aren't hitting Success Club, they're not hitting Success Club because A, they're not doing the things. They're not following the tracker. They're not talking to people. They're not inviting. They're not posting every day. Or it's just because they don't want to. You know, there just has to be, they have to make the decision for themselves. I feel the same way with Diamond. Like, I don't put a lot of stress on rank advancing my own business. So I don't put a lot of stress on like 10-star, 15-star, because it steals joy from me. But also, like, they're going to hit Diamond if they want to hit Diamond. Like, I'm just going to recruit enough people that eventually some of them are going to hit Diamond. But we really have this focus of like, let's just help as many people as we can. Let's have fun doing it, and let's get results ourselves. And we have this quote that's Ashley told me when I first started, and it's just kind of been a common theme on our team. It's focus on yourself and everything else falls into place. And so the number one thing they have to do is get their workouts in, follow a meal plan, and do personal development. Because I really feel that if you're not super excited about your own journey and you're not super centered in your own journey, then you're not going to hit Success Club. Like, you could send 70 invites a day, but if you're not excited about your journey, or you're not, you don't have the belief behind what you're doing, you're not going to hit Success Club, because it's all about energy. So we talk about that a lot as far as Success Club and Elite and that kind of stuff. And I feel like it just happens.
No, I absolutely love that, especially help as many people as you can, because how many times I hear it all the time where people are like, oh, I finally hit Success Club 5 or 10, and then they let their foot off the gas. Or, oh my gosh, I finally hit Success Club 5. I'm going to keep these other ones that I'm talking to and wait till next month to sign them up. But if you just have the mentality, I help as many people as I possibly can, like, there's not an end point to that. It's
Right.
not, oh, it's the 30th, I'm going to wait till tomorrow to sign these people up. It's like, nope, I'm just going to keep helping as many people. So I think it's so good.
What a disservice that is to other people. Like, not only are you holding yourself back from your potential at that point, but you're holding other people back from theirs. Like, if you decided just like not to invite today, or you just decided to not show up, then like, you're not just holding yourself back, but you're holding back someone else saying yes to their own journey. And that's not fair. And so I always think about it like that too.
Love it. Okay, guys, what other questions do you have? You guys can take yourself off me. Oh, Jessica, go ahead.
Thank you, by the way. This is so amazing. And I just have to say, I love how simple that you make things and how direct you make things, because I think we all can recognize that one of the biggest things we do wrong as coaches is overcomplicate everything.
Right.
So I love your approach with all of that. So even with, I mean, I wrote down a ton of notes and things that you've shared, but if you were to look back over your journey over, this last year, and you've grown so fast, and it's not easy to find, other yous out there, obviously. What would you say, like, the top maybe 1 to 3 things that you would attribute to your success would be?
I would say number 1 is inviting. I would say, like, I have never been afraid of inviting. This business is a numbers game, whether we like it or not. And if we want more people to say yes, we're going to have to get more no's, which means we're going to have to talk to more people. I definitely think being so focused and excited on my own journey. Because when 80-Day Obsession launched, I lost 15 pounds and I went from a size 12 to a size 6, which was like insane. And I got amazing results and I felt so good. And I also just got in such a good headspace with personal development. I was hitting Success Club like 112 without even trying, because like my energy was so good with my own journey and I was showing people results, and like I had like 3,000 followers. Like, it's not like I had like, 80,000 or 100,000, hitting over Success Club 100. I was talking to enough people and I was getting the results to prove it, and I was excited. I feel like I had this lull in February this year where I really wasn't excited about my journey. I was super stressed out. I was letting anxiety like get to me with our move and all the things. And I was on my 4th round of Transform 20 because I was in the test group. And so I was like, I'm like so bored with my own journey. And I started to realize like I was, getting to a really negative headspace, and it wasn't helping my business at all. Like I was going 2 weeks without signing a person up. I was sending the invites, I was doing the things, I was showing up, but my energy was so awful. And so I really like recommitted myself to my own journey this month and started 80 Day again, because I was like, I know how I felt with 80 Day Obsession last year, and I know that I can go all in and stay 100% with the meal plan, except for the cruise, because I will be having the drink package in that case. But like just staying so focused on my journey and myself, because the second I let off that, it's when things start to feel like they're out of my control. Like the one thing we can control in this business is our own journey. And I think people are attracted to that. So inviting, focusing on my own journey. And I think just like breathing belief into your coaches. Like Ashley believed in me before I believed in myself, and she would tell it to me every single day. And then finally I just started to believe in myself. And then I've passed that on to my coaches, like just telling them, even when they don't feel like, even when the numbers aren't there, or maybe, you know, they're not getting people, they're not seeing traction, like telling them, like, just keep going. Like, I know you're going to do this. I know you're going to be successful. I know you're going to, totally blow this up. You just have to keep pushing. And like, I just see so much potential in you, and really just talking them up. Like, it's not hand holding, it's empowering them. And obviously there, a lot of times coaches will come to me like with negativity, and I literally will message them back and say, tell me 3 things you're grateful for. Like, don't text me again until you're positive. Like I tell Sydney that all the time, because Sydney will come with me with negativity, and I'll be like, Sid, text me when you're positive. Or she's like, I just need 2 minutes to complain and then I'll be positive again. Can we do that? And I'm like, yes, we can do that. So my coaches know, like, I believe in them, and I'm going to continue to believe in them. And I will always believe in them more than they believe in themselves. Even when they get to the point where they believe in themselves, I'm going to up it for them, because I think it's our job as mentors and as their coach to show them their potential, because I wouldn't be here if Ashley didn't believe in me. So Sydney just told me to share this, but so the whole thing with like being focused on your own journey, I earned a spot in the MM100 test group, and I turned it down, which was really hard. And I think that was part of like my February lull. It was like, I knew for a few weeks that I was going to say no, because I wanted to do 80 Day. Like, I was just like, I know how I feel when I do 80 Day Obsession. I want to do 80 Day with these. I have like 40 or 50 challengers that were starting day one. And I had told them that I wanted to do it with them, and I wanted to see it through with them and do it all together. So when I got asked to do the test group, I was kind of like, thanks, but like, can we pass it on to someone else? Because I am really excited about this, and I just feel really called to doing this program. I have been super blessed to be in the Transform 20 test group and the Ultimate Portion Fix test group, and there will always be another test group. But for right now, like, I have to do what's good for me, and it was just like the test group like wasn't it for me. So I want you guys to just like, if you take anything away from that, and I was like terrified to tell corporate. Like, I was like sick to my stomach, because I was like, oh my God, they're going to hate me. They're never going to let me in any other groups. Like, it's going to be awful. But at the end of the day, like, this business is centered around your own journey. And so if you're not excited about something, then like, you're not going to have a successful business. And I'm super pumped to do MM100 with my challengers when it comes out for everyone. Like, I'm like so pumped to be able to start it with them, and I'm going to amp it up, and I'm going to launch it just like I would have if I was in the test group. But I wanted to do 80 days so bad, and I was so excited about it that I just, I just felt really called to it. So you always have to do like what's going to benefit you, and not always think you have to do what's going to benefit your business, because in turn, like, whatever's benefiting you is going to benefit your business, but not the other way around necessarily. So I assume you run sneak peeks. Yes, I run sneak peeks on Facebook. I am kind of tweaking with this a little bit right now. So I usually run a sneak peek like every 2 weeks, like usually bi-weekly. But I knew that I was going to be moving, and I knew that like I might not be in the right. I feel like sneak peeks, like you have to be hype. Like you have to be like a super hype person during your sneak peeks, or like no one's gonna want to sign up. Like you have to like drink all the Energize and be, you know, all your energy has to pour into those sneak peeks for however long you do them. So I do mine for 3 days. And so by the end of it, I'm exhausted by the end of a sneak peek. So I was doing them bi-weekly. Actually, in January, I did them weekly, which was really good. I recruited a lot of coaches, but it was not good for my sanity. It's probably why February sucked so bad. But I am doing them right now monthly, but I put on my website. So I have a website that I just use, Squarespace. And I recorded like the same videos I would do in a sneak peek, talking about income, time and tasks, and there's another one. Objections, maybe? What's the other one? I don't remember. I think it's objections. But time and tasks, money, objections. That has to be it. Yeah. But I recorded them and I put them on Vimeo, so not on YouTube, because then if they go to YouTube, there's not the like random videos that are like, why I quit Beachbody coaching. So I put them on Vimeo and I uploaded them to a password protected page on my website. So if someone's interested in coaching, or someone, even if I'm saying like I'm taking 10 people on for my new coach mentorship, they can fill out the coach application or my coach interest form, and then I will email them the link to my website, the password to get in and watch the videos, and then they can basically do their info session right there on their own time, and then I just follow up. And I have found that works. And I also think it works for the personalities like myself, where like if I'm really excited and I want to say yes to coaching really bad, I don't want to wait 3 days to have all the information. Like I want to know it now, and I want to make a decision now. So they have all the information they need in order to make a decision, and then I just follow up with them after a couple days to see if they've watched them or whatever. So I'm kind of playing with that. Recently, a lot of my coaches have come from my challenge groups, because I put a lot of focus on my challenge groups, especially Transform 20. I had a really good amount of working coaches come from Transform 20. And so that's been working really well. But yeah, that's pretty much it.
Do you guys have any more questions?
I'll ask one more. So you're obviously recruiting a ton of, well, you said that your challengers end up turning into coaches, which I love that, because they're already in love with the process. When you're inviting, because sometimes, you know, when someone says they're inviting, it's just to challenge groups. But you said you talk about coaching a lot. So are you inviting, what would you say the percentage to coaching versus your challenge groups would be?
99.9% challenge groups.
Okay.
I've tried inviting to my coach sneak peeks, like saying, you know, like, I'm just a basic invite, like I'm running a coaching info session about what I do as a coach, and I wanted to reach out and see if you'd be interested in checking it out. Like it's just a free group for info. And I've had people get in the group, but I don't know if there's actually been anybody that I've invited to the group that have gotten in that have actually turned into a coach. The people that actually turn into coaches are ones where I literally just constantly am like, click the link in my bio, click the link in my bio, swipe up, drop your email. Like I'm always giving them a call to action in order to get into the group. And sometimes no one responds, like a poll, 0 people respond. But I do it enough that they have enough opportunities that it's like, okay, tomorrow if she puts up that dang poll one more time, I'm going to say yes. So I, you know, will make sure I'm doing a call to action at least every day if I'm actively enrolling to a coach sneak peek. But a lot of like getting people in my sneak peeks or in my info sessions or in my mentorship is attraction marketing. And that's how it's always been. I've never invited to coaching right away. I don't know if it's just because I fell in love with the programs first and then the business later, even though I came in as both. And I just feel like, you know, I don't know. I feel like I look at my diamonds and pretty much all of them started as coaches and challengers at the same time, but they added themselves to a sneak peek. or they, you know, reached out and said they were interested in coaching, because I was talking about it enough. So I talk about it constantly. And so people know it's happening and that it's an opportunity for them. But I am trying to get better at inviting, like if I see someone that would be an awesome coach, I'm going to invite them to an info session. Because I have missed out on people that I know in real life go sign up with someone else. And I'm like, no, because I was afraid to invite them to coaching and they went and signed up with someone else. And then they're like, oh, your post inspired me to go sign up as a coach with this other person that reached out to me. And I'm like, yeah, that sucks. That's a dagger. So if there's someone that I'm like, they would be an awesome coach, I'm just going to ask, I'll do that. But I don't send like 30 coach sneak peek invites. It's usually challenge group.
Awesome. And then with your new coaches, when they sign up, they're active coaches, what does your like simple approach to say, okay, like I know you said you don't handhold them to diamond or emphasize diamond, but there has, obviously you do something to say this is like one of your next benchmarks. How simple do you make that? Like why would you say so many of your coaches are successful at hitting that and going beyond?
I would say, so with Emerald, like they see an Emerald in 24-hour call recording in their quick start training. So they know they need to hit Emerald in 24 hours. Then usually they hit Emerald before we get on our getting started right call. So then we get on our call together and I say, okay, next stop's Diamond. Just do what you did just now 4 times. Because that's what Diamond is. Diamond is Emerald 4 times. It's here's your Emerald, so here's 2 people, and then let's add another 2 people, and then another 2 people, and another 2 people. If we actually think about it, if Emerald takes us 24 hours, then Diamond should take us like 96. Like it shouldn't be taking people, you know, as long as it's actually taking them, because people overthink it. Like people are overthinking the process when it's really just Emerald 4 times plus 2 is what I call it, because you're hitting it. You're adding your 8 people, so Emerald times 4, and then plus 2, which is your 2 Emeralds that you're going to need. And, you know, one of them is their spouse, and then one of them is finding one working coach that wants to do this with you. Find one person in your friend group that wants to do this with you, help them get to Emerald in 24 hours. And that's what I did when I hit Diamond. I hit Diamond in like 3 weeks and had no idea what I was doing. Like I was like, I don't even know what Diamond is, but Ashley told me to hit it, so I did. And I did it with discount coaches, and then I had my co-teacher wanted to build the business, and she hit Emerald in 24 hours. And so it's like, if we can say Emerald in 24 hours, then Diamond in, you know, 96 hours is really pretty, you know, tight. But Diamond in 30 days, like I always say, Diamond in 30 days, like it's 8 people. Go find 8 people. And like for sure, if they're hitting Success Club, like at least 3 months. Like it should at least be in 90 days if you're taking the longer route, because if you're hitting Success Club, that's 3 people a month. That is the people that you need for Diamond. And so and then I just emphasize that Diamond's when your business starts. Like you don't own a business until Diamond opens up, because you're not actually creating volume. I always talk about Emerald I'm an analogy person. So Emerald is like when you put in the key to the ignition of your business, and Diamond is when you like turn it on and hit the gas. Like you're not actually moving forward in your business until you hit Diamond. And I also see when people hit Diamond, their mindset shifts. Like their mindset shifts so much that they hit Diamond, they're 1 star like 2 weeks later, because all of a sudden they have a team and they're owning a business and they're running. I actually have a girl who hit Diamond, I think like she hit Diamond like a month ago. And she's in 1 star qual, and she just, you know, and it's one of like her coaches, they were like racing to Diamond together. And so Jennifer hit Diamond, and then, Brandy was right behind her and was like, well, you're a Diamond, I want to be a Diamond too. And so it just like shifted this mindset. And now like Jennifer has like 5 business builders. Like she's exploding because she hit Diamond and it shifted her mindset completely. And so I always tell people, get to Diamond as quickly as possible. Because it's going to help with that momentum. It's going to give you credibility, and it's going to be where your business really starts. I run my challenge groups on the app. I have an ongoing challenge group, and I usually have a, whatever program I'm doing, I have a program specific group. So like right now I have an 80-day group and then my ongoing group. And then my invite is, hey, do you want to join my boot camp? Like literally it's pretty much that. It's like, hey sister, sometimes I'll throw in like Happy Monday. I don't know if you've seen, but I'm enrolling for my next boot camp and wanted to reach out and see if you wanted more info to start. Like super simple, something I would say in person. I want it to be like, I don't voice memo, I don't voice record because I just copy and paste them all to people. So I don't voice record it, but I just, how I would talk in real life, because they're watching my stories, they're seeing how I post. If I come at them with like a fluffy invite, like it's not, there's going to be a disconnect because that's not how I post and that's not how I talk on my stories. So super simple. I always tell people to invite the way they would want to be invited.
Oh, I love all this. Keeping it simple, keeping it easy for your coaches. Focus on your 3, focus on diamond simple to emerald 4 times. Like all of those little nuggets, guys, I hope you wrote down and you're ready to implement, because it really is taking it back to making that. This is so simple, and every single person who signs up can be successful and can be diamond and above. So good. Okay, well, that's it for today. Thank you so much, Kate, for letting us drill you. Thanks for everyone else. I will see you guys next week. Thank you. Bye.